I am 26 and I just now started learning how to save. Um, and I'm not gonna bore you with the semantics, or maybe I do. Maybe I do entertain it a little bit. I'll just say this: when you don't come from an environment that teaches you, like I don't. My parents didn't really teach me how to save. My school didn't really teach us much about finance. It was all about going to school. You go to college, you don't really learn a lot of these skills or these things you're supposed to learn as an adult when you're in your earlier years. And now looking back at it, I probably would have been in a way different place in my life if I just even learned how to save really early on, or even just want to work. Because I used to hustle with my dad. We used to do things and make money, side hustles. But I never was really saving. I was always, you know, wanting to spend that money. And I didn't grow up with much. My history is a very humble one. But I do thank God because my parents did get me into middle school, high school, and college. Even though I didn't end up finishing college, they did do a lot. And I say that to say this: saving your money, man, is very important. And there's a lot of people that will tell you, you don't want to save your money, you want to invest, invest, invest. Investing is good. But for me, like I want a car soon. I have to save my money for that. I can't put my money into investments. Probably a microscopic amount a month, right? Something I won't really feel like. I won't eat out on this day. Put it in an investment. But most of your money you need to be saving because it creates a sort of, safety pad, like a safety net. And this is not going to resonate with a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be in a different tax bracket, be making different money. So this is really applying to people that aren't from humble beginnings, don't have much, just now starting to really realize how the world works. And holding on to your money is something that is crucial because we have things like DoorDash. We have things like, if you play video games, battle passes, microtransactions, subscription services. So you might think that you're not spending that much, but when you look back, the DoorDash, it really does add up. Eating out, like a large part of how I save, even back then when I didn't have a lot of money saved, and I still don't, was just cooking my own food. Like I would eat chicken, rice, beans every single day, and I'm still eating that every single day. I've been doing that for like 3-4 years now. And, not having a lot of microtransactions, stay away from the battle passes and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I play video games. Maybe I'll buy a skin here or there, but very rarely, right? And after I saved my first $1,000, it was like, damn, this does feel good. And there's this statistic, I don't even know if it's really real, but they say like even for my Americans, most Americans don't even have $1,000 in savings. So it's just crazy. A lot of people are in a terrible sort of place right now, both mentally and financially. And when you don't have much, you're so much more prone to just spend it because you're just like, it's whatever. But ever since I started saving, like I wanted a new graphics card months ago, probably for 5-6 months now. Could have bought it many times, but I just can't get myself to do it because it does take a huge chunk out of your money when you spend, even sometimes $100, $200. So I made this video to kind of share that at one point you're gonna need to save money. And I've been living on my own for around 3 years, 4 years now, I would say. Almost coming up on 4 years. And I never missed a month of rent. That's the one thing that I've never done. And there'd be times, most of the times, up until like I went full time a couple months ago, that I really had only like $300 in savings. And I also want you guys to understand this. This is what they don't tell you. You have to be making, I'll say it like this. You have to be getting your expenses out of the way with at least 1.5, maybe 2 weeks of working. My rent is low for my area, I would say. I'm making it in essentially a week and like a day, right? If I work a Saturday, I'm making it in a week and a day. So around 7 days, just 1 week basically, yeah. 1 full week. So I'm making it in 7 days. That means for the rest of those 21 days, which is 3 weeks, everything is just being food, maybe gym membership, and even that I could just revoke and be like, yo, I just work out at home. And that's just savings. So if I'm making rent in 1 week, that means everything else has to be going in savings. And that's exactly how I saved my first $1,000 working full-time at a retail job, just stacking. Look on my channel, I just stack stuff on shelves. And then a couple months later, after I saved my first 1,000, now it's just compounding. And eventually I want to get to like 10,000, right? But all of that to say this: save your money. Just save it. And this is some game. If you are living home, if you are from the ages of teenager to whatever age, if you are not paying for rent, work as much as you can. Work on your side business, whether that's something like YouTube, or maybe you do car detailing, or whatever side hustle you got, and just save. Do that for 3. Like, if I knew I didn't have to pay for rent every month and I was just living at home with parents and I was a 16 to 21-year-old man, you're basically like, you're really doing better than most people, because some people have really high rent and you don't have to have high rent. Like I'm in this room and it's not even that big, but I don't pay that much for rent, and I always have rent every month. Is being saved up extremely quickly because I'm working full time and I kept my rent low. Now, if you're not making as much money and you're paying $1,500 a month for rent, it's like, man, what are you doing? You could be putting away so much more money if you just decide to stay home. Maybe you have to bite the bullet, or choke down the fact that you're living with parents or something. Maybe you do that for a couple years. Maybe you do that for 2 years and just run up 30K. 20, 30K, maybe you do that. Depending on what job. Maybe it's 10K. Maybe it's 25 to 30K. You never know, depending on what job you have, depending on your qualifications. So basically what I'm trying to say is keep your expenses really fucking low, because that's how you'll save up the most money. Like, if you have no expenses and you're staying at home with parents and they're even cooking for you and you're like young, it's like, bro, just work full time, or even just work and then work on something on the side. Because once you have to go to work and start having to pay bills, you're going to start to become a lot more mad about things, angry, frustrated. Oh man, I got this to pay, then you got to pay the car note, all of those things. So I'll end it like this: keep your expenses low, because in this economy in America, you cannot afford to be doing all type of stupid shit with your money. If you don't pay rent, work, save up all your money. Do that for 2-3 years for no reason, literally no reason, just to have the money, because you'll be up way more than those other people like me that wasn't really working when they were younger, or had space to just stay in the parents' crib. Like, I had to get out of the Bronx. It was not the right environment, and that led to a set of circumstances that led me to being able to really start my life at 26. So save your money, keep your expenses low. You don't want to be caught lacking, especially not in this economy. Peace.